Well, if there's ever a good time to hit form, it's probably about now, and Norwich City have done exactly that. They continue to march on in the Championship, this time with a 3-0 victory against Stoke City away from home at the Bet365 Stadium. We know how poor Norwich's away form has been this season, and I must say, in the lead up to this game, I was saying to myself, we should be winning. We should be winning these types of games, but I'm going to allow myself to not get too carried away just in case it doesn't happen. I've been scarred too many times from looking at these types of games this season when Norwich have gone to a team that are struggling, let's put it frank, in the Championship and not got the job done. This was an A-star performance from the Canaries. It was convincing, it was enthralling, it was it was relentless. And I think I've used that word fairly sparingly this season. There's been so many games where I think Norwich could have really kicked on at maybe 1-0 or 2-0 and killed the game off, particularly away from home this season, where we've taken the lead and then not come away with all 3 points. But we did exactly that today. It helped in the way that Stoke set up and the way that they tried to play the game. It was far from defensive from them, and look, they caused us problems on a couple of occasions. And it was once again thanks to sort of Angus Gunn and our defence, who have now kept 2 clean sheets in a row, that we did keep them out. But you always felt like Norwich were going to score more than Stoke, and we did exactly that. In terms of the statistics, we absolutely bossed it. We had more possession, we had far more shots, we had far more big chances. Expected goals was over double that of Stoke's. And you look at this squad and you're looking at the run-in and you're going, we should really be finishing top 6. It's nice that Hull and Coventry weren't playing in the league this weekend. It means that we've got a little bit of a buffer now between us and Hull. And as we know, we've been in these kind of promotion races before. Points on the board is far more valuable than games in hand. So to have a 3-point buffer over Hull, a 4-point buffer over Coventry, and a 5-point buffer over Preston feels at this stage in the season fairly big. And this felt big because the 5-0 victory against Rotherham, you're looking at that and going, were Norwich good or were Rotherham really poor? And I think both were probably the case. There was some fantastic finishing in that match from Norwich. Equally, Rotherham were probably the worst Championship side I've ever seen come to Carrow Road, let alone this season. But for all the good home wins we've had, we've often backed them up with really disappointing away displays. And I think, none more so than we beat Sunderland 1-0, really put ourselves in with a chance of moving into the top 6. And then we go to Middlesbrough, and granted, that display was kind of ruined by the refereeing decision around poor science, but we lost that. Bounced back really convincingly against Rotherham, and then now followed it up with a really convincing 3-0 win at Stoke. And that's how momentum builds, and particularly now at the end of the season with 8 games left to go, it feels like this is the time when you need to start a run, and that's exactly what we've done. And you actually look back at the form since the 3rd of February, you can even go back a little bit further than that. We've been impressive, probably since the win at Hull, I'd say, and that was on the 12th of January. We lost to Leeds away from home. We lost to Liverpool in the FA Cup away from home, and the only other defeat was against Borough. And as I mentioned there, we were probably going to win that game if we remained with 11 men on the pitch. So this is a sustained spell of form from Norwich, and we're going to have to do that because I think Hull are a good side and will continue to pick up points, as we've seen with Coventry today with their victory over Wolves. They're no mugs and will continue to press on. I think I saw a stat that the average finishing position of 6th place is around about 74 points. We're on 61, that means we're 13 behind, 8 games to go. At the current rate of knots, we're going well enough to finish in the top 6. I think we need to talk about the goal scorers as well today, and all 3 of them impressive in their own right. Josh Sargent with a tap-in, Borja Sainz, the architect, as always. Sargent going at a goal a game. There's only 3 players, thanks to NCFC numbers for this, only 3 players in the Championship with more goals, non-penalty goals this season than Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent has played just 35% of the available minutes in the Championship this season. He is, pound for pound, the best striker in this division. Gabriel, Sara, 10 goals, more than 10 assists this season. He is a really special talent. We've got the best striker in the division. We've probably got one of the best midfielders in the division. We've definitely got the best goalkeeper in the division. A spine of this team with real quality. And Ashley Barnes popping up late on as well with a goal. Probably didn't know much about it, but I think when you look at successful sides in the Championship, all of them have a character, a leader up front. And look, Barnes isn't the most, the prettiest of footballers, but he will rally a dressing room. And I think that was always the case when we brought Barnes into this side, is that was what we thought we were going to get from him. And I think we do get that from him. I suspect he is, really influential in the dressing room, will demand 100%. On the training pitch, so nice to see him get a goal today. And Wagner's not been around this week. He was attending some family issues over in Germany, so it was his backroom staff and players that kind of rallied together here and picked up a win. And look, must be said, best wishes to David and all of his family, and I hope everything is going okay there. He was back for today's game, but probably lovely for him to see that they've rallied around, they've dug deep, and they've found a way. And they've got past, yes, a poor Stoke side, and a Stoke side that will be, embroiled in a relegation battle from now until the end of the season. But you look at some of the games, or some of the places we've lost this season. Plymouth on the same amount of points as Stoke. Rotherham lost there. They are 21 points adrift of Stoke. Millwall, the list goes on of sides we've lost at this season. Stoke couldn't be another of those that we lost to. We didn't. And actually, West Brom 5 points above us. It's not out of that, realm of possibility that we catch them. This just feels like, mentally more than anything really important, the fact that we've shown to ourselves that away from home we can put together a performance, because I can't really remember too many this season. But when you look at the quality that is throughout, this side, I always think if you're an opposition fan, if you're a Stoke fan and you're looking at the lineups, you're seeing the Norwich team going, Sargent's dangerous. Oh, God, Science in behind, he's dangerous. Barnes can mix it in the Championship. Gabriel Sara, he's one of the best midfielders in the division. Marcelino Nunez, I've seen some of his free kicks. Kenny McLean basically played every minute this season. Jack Stacey, he's really good at this level. Ben Gibson, big money signing. Sam McCallum, I've seen him mix it in the Championship. Angus Gunn, clean sheets for fun. Every player in that starting 11 today, you're fearful of. Can't remember too many sides that Norwich have faced where I've had the same kind of respect for. And it shows just how impressive we can be. And I think that's a really good sign. So I'm really excited. We move on, a little break now, and then it's Plymouth up next on Easter Friday. So 2 weeks to recover and prepare for that. On paper, should be a win. Not going to be easy, but I'm feeling confident for that one. Then it starts to get a little bit tougher. Leicester away, Ipswich at home. It's coming up thick and fast then, and then Sheffield Wednesday away. So 4 games coming up in the space of, 10 days really. A couple of wins and a couple of draws would be the ideal. I suspect we'll probably lose one of them, but the last couple of wins have given us a buffer, and that feels important. It really does. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.